Hello, guys, and welcome back to the SA DPC Division 1 specifically, as I'm centering myself for the camera. We have a wonderful match in front of us, SG Esports versus Infinity, and this match will determine most likely who goes onto the mid towards lower end, because someone, or two teams rather, need to be eliminated from this Division 1, and SG and Infinity are both contenders for this position. Does that mean they're going to be them? Could they go to the major? Of course, but, you know, many people can dream. Dreaming is free, as they say. Hope is the last thing you lose. SG and Infinity are both looking for these valuable points to make sure they can stay in this division. Infinity is doing pretty well this season, and so is SG at the beginning. So we'll see who can take this. For the panel, we have a completely unbiased panel of two Brazilians who will support Infinity, obviously. It's Rayur and RDO. Rayur, how's it going, man? Are you excited for this matchup?
Yeah, I'm really excited. I want to check if your theory is right about Mariano by just picking weird heroes on the first game. So I really want to say the game.
RDO, you got to play against SG and got to watch them a lot as well. Have you seen some notable improvements? Are you liking their curve as a team? Or do you feel like they still have a way to go?
Yes, I feel like they're playing very good. Oh my god, nobody banned Beastmaster. Let's go. First pick Beastmaster win by SG.
Augers.
Yeah, actually, you're right.
But yeah, going back to the SG thing, I feel like they're playing very good, and their new players, Frank and Berna, are also very skilled, and they're fitting pretty well with the rest of the lineup.
Were you here for the last SG game, RDO, where Frank was just soloing as Night Stalker?
What was the game? SG versus?
I actually forgot. I just remember Frank committing suicide 1,000 times.
I think it was against Infamous. No, I wasn't here.
Oh, okay. All right, never mind then. So I was gonna comment on that, on Frank being skilled, but well, anyway, Frank gets the Beastmaster, probably his best hero, and immediately gets countered by the CM Dawnbreaker. Nothing too weird just yet, Rayur. So you know we can still hope for a good draft for Infinity.
I don't know about this opening with Dawnbreaker. Most of the time you see Dawnbreaker going position 5. This is kind of new. You're playing 4. I think we saw Dawnbreaker 4 yesterday. King Gown from Wolf Team by just going Dawnbreaker 4 and not buying Lotus Orb.
That was fun. Yeah.
Let's see. I really enjoy seeing this hero on the offlane or mid lane though. I think it's pretty strong. It has the global assistance, and on the lane phase, it's super broken in my opinion.
Yeah, other regions are playing it mostly as off lane or mid, actually. So you're a bigger fan of that. Do you think it's okay to first phase it in that sense and just keep it as a potential flex?
I don't think for going core in the first phase it's a good idea, because I think this hero has a lot of counters, especially on the mid lane. You can pick anything that's evenly good against, and you can pick Nyx, who is also decent on the mid game because of the Solar Guardian, the Carapace. I think the teams that tried to flex this hero to core positions are teams that just feel really confident on playing him, and players who like weird stuff going on, like Thompson, you know.
Okay, can you want to elaborate on that? What do you mean weird stuff going on?
Like, there's some classic players like RDO, like classic carries that just play classic heroes, and there are some strange carries that plays weird heroes like FCR, who plays Dark Warden, plays Lone Druid, plays Timber Saw carry, Sniper carry, and I think to this hero works, the player needs to be really adaptive on these heroes, you know, this weird stuff going on.
RDO, what is your opinion on those people are not the classics? What do you think of those kind of players?
And just pick normal heroes and win. It's way easier.
Do you think there's a position where being like more experimental works better, RDO? Like I know experimental carries are not your best. You're not very fond of them, for example.
I feel like there's always room for experimental stuff, but it should be always. You should always try first on scrims before going into official matches, because the thing about picking weird heroes is not about you knowing or not knowing how to play the hero. It's more about your team understanding how to play with your hero. Like if you pick a lone druid carry, you can be the best lone druid carry ever, but your team needs to know how to play around it, or you're gonna be a good player with a bad draft and you're gonna lose in the end.
Yeah,
But if you pick like normal ranked heroes like TB, PL, whatever, it's everyone knows how to play with these heroes, so it's just easier for it to work in pro matches.
yeah, I agree 100%. When we used to play on characters, FCR really likes these weird carries, and
Yep.
what are the just say this is 100% true. Like we used to play Timber carry, and before Bristleback, just everyone discovered Bristleback. We're just picking it, and we know what to do in the game, how to
Right.
make space for him, and how to work the hero in the game itself.
So did you practice that, Ryu? Like, did you do scrims specifically to practice that idea? Did FCR teach you the timings of the heroes and stuff like that, or how did that work?
Yeah, we used to scrim a lot with these heroes, and we always discuss on what is good, what is bad, the main counters, which counters you can play against, and most of the teams. Oh,
I was right, Ryu.
oh my God!
It's
Here
always the
goes
first
Mariano. Mariano attacks again.
Oh
It's
my
going to be a punch carry like the last time.
I know RDO is a big fan of that one. He thinks it's a really solid carry.
But I
Now,
don't think
don't you,
RDO.
I don't like it, man. They're going for too much flexes, and in the end, they're gonna have some weird draft.
Yep.
What is
Because,
good in the last pick? You just fix it the draft, no? Just pick some weird stuff and you fix on the last pick.
It's just too hard, man, because they already have so much weird stuff. Like the last game we casted with Infinity that they won 2-1. The first game they lost, picking Pudge into Beastmaster, thinking they can counter it by just playing the lane. And Pudge got destroyed because they picked Actually, they banned Invoker this time. Great, but Pudge got destroyed because the other team got a mid that can rotate and just rotate into
Phoenix.
the Beastmaster lane and just win and just take Pudge out of the lane. So yeah, I think this can happen again. They pick the Pudge against the Beastmaster, but they can just pick a mid that rotate and take Pudge out of the lane.
This time they
So what
have
would be your
Crystal
options?
Maiden.
Yeah, last time they have Marcy. Marcy is just a
Yeah.
better CM.
Right. What would be
Better
your options then? Where
CM.
if you're thinking of like a mid that rotates that can deal with a Pudge, what would you think about? Where you're
What I think it's good against Pudge, it's physical damage because it has too much magical resistance nowadays. They have White Doctor. Maybe Void Spirit is going to be decent, but I really think they should just pick a Templar carry and just to deal with Pudge. I think they just need a hero to create chaos. I don't think Pudge deals really fine with too much chaos on the map. He relies too much on experience and the first items.
fair enough. And Marcy will be creating that chaos, which indicates either Monkey or Marcy are core. Most likely Monkey can carry here. I think SG thinks it's Pudge or Dawnbreaker offlane.
So they can have a good 23 pick.
Oh.
Yeah.
Never mind.
There's the offlaner, I think. That's the offlane Venom, dude.
How's this
So
matchup?
it's-
Monkey versus Venom. What do you think, Ardu?
It's Vino favorite if Monkey doesn't have any dispels on lane, because he'll just kite and cast first spell from far, nuke. You can never proc the Jingle. It's just bad for Monkey.
Even with White Doctor on the lane to help with the cask and stuff like that.
It's still bad because they have a Downbreaker. Like Downbreaker is gonna bodyguard for Vino. You can never go to Vino if you don't go past Downbreaker, and they just have too much damage on Infinite side for the Downbreaker Vino lane.
And there's... Okay, so what carry would you pick against the Venomancer? Who will be your options then? Juggernaut?
TV, man. No. There's TV.
Okay.
TV is actually so good against Vino because if Vino gets second spell, your first spell just gets Omega value. But it's kind of weird against Downbreaker. I feel like it can still be played because it's whatever against CM, you don't really care about it, and it's fine against Pudge because you build into armor, damage, DPS. You just right click him down.
Yeah, that seems pretty fair. I would imagine it's a ban though, because it's also the thing that comes to mind. And I'm not a TB spammer, just a normal hero against Venom.
They're banning Lina. Maybe they're planning to put the monkey on the mid lane.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
very
that's what-
monkey mid.
What about the Ember ban though? Is that not a good
Yeah,
matchup for Monkey?
That's why I just got confused. You know, they just ban Amber then Lina.
Okay, so
Maybe
no
they,
TP RDO.
maybe they just ban Amber to protect the Beastmaster.
Oh,
Oh.
Instant
okay,
pick.
Okay, instant
All
pick.
right.
They were ready. All right.
that is interesting. So they're running Monkey King versus Veno. That seems like a dead lane, and then Puck versus DK. Dude, I think that Punch K can actually win. Brayur, I'm gonna ask RDO last, but Brayur, what do you think?
Man, I want to see the chaos, you know? I want to see this Pudge character
Uh-huh.
destroying the game, so I'm excited. But like we discussed in the beginning of the game, seems like it's weird putting this Pudge against the Beastmaster. But on this time, he has a Crystal Maiden who is going to help.
Mm-hmm.
Last time, if I'm not wrong, he just began the lane with the hook, but I think it's not good. And he has CM, he has reliable ways to get into Beastmaster. So I think this game is going to be a little more decent for him. And I think they are going to lack damage to kill him. They have they need too much of the Maledict to kill him.
RDO, what is your opinion?
Guys, it's Frank Beastmaster. This guy is the best Beastmaster I've ever seen. I'll go with SG for sure.
Okay. The Punch K does not influence your decision at all, RDO? You don't care? You're neutral about it, right?
I mean, it does, but the Beastmaster is just like it's stronger than the Pudge. You know, I don't know how to explain.
Right, sure. The hate for the Pudge is like a 5, and then the love
Yeah,
for the
yeah,
Beastmaster is
yeah.
like a 9.
And
Okay.
not the Beastmaster, but the Frank Beastmaster.
Precisely. All right. RDO, actually, not only does he think this, but Hector and multiple carries in the region has told us, fuck Frank Beastmaster specifically. So I do think that that's a very popular idea. Rayur will believe in the chaos. Who out of our panel will be correct? We're going to have to find out as we go into game 1 between SG Esports and Infinity with our casters Alvo Plus and SeeknStrike Dota. And Guav, I'm always excited to cast this wonderful Punch carry. It's the second time that Infinity break this out. Last time, Avo interviewer got to ask Papita about this hero, and Papita said, oh, actually, Lumiere asks for it every single game, and sometimes I just kind of give in and give it to him. They've actually practiced it a lot in scrims. Apparently, they win in scrims with it, and they're pretty confident in it. It just hasn't had any wins just yet. Papita told us that until you lose, I think he told me like 3 times. Like if you don't lose up to 3 times the hero in competitive, you can still keep practicing and experimenting. So that's what they're gonna do. Be exciting if they finally win here, because otherwise, when I say you retire, you know, I don't want that.
You know what else you can't do with a hero if you lose 3 times with it, Avo? Play it at the major. It's kind of the reality.
Oh, right. Oh, because you've lost 3 times. I see.
Because you've lost 3 times, yeah. So
yeah. That's a good one.
I mean, that's not a good one, right? I think it's one thing to experiment. It's another thing to kind of go way outside the beaten trail and then find yourself unable to return. Or maybe even, not able to get into Division 1, right? Because that is what this match could end up meaning for both these two teams. Is, of course, we are paused, which is why we are just having a nice discussion here about Pudge. My favorite thing... The major, the points, the Pudge, it all comes together. My favorite thing about actually hearing you guys panel live is always for 23rd and 24th pick. It's basically you ask your panelists, what do you think looks good here? And without fail, 100% of the time, RDO goes, man, TB is a good hero, isn't he?
No, the latest panels he swapped over to Jug, and that's his hero of choice now. It's either TB or Jug. It was just one of the two, but they both got banned this time, so RDO couldn't have been more right this time.
They did, yeah.
I also particularly I love having the discussion with RDO, who, by the way, is 20, but talks like he's a Dota boomer. He looks like he's 45. And every time someone picks a carry that is not like one of the core 6, it's grumble, grumble. It's like, I don't know if this is going to work out. It's not a very traditional carry. I'm not sure. Can he even hit creeps? It's pretty garbage. And the worst part is he's right like 90% of the time. He's pretty on point with it.
Terrible attack animation cannot benefit from quelling blade. They will lose the game.
That's pretty much the logic. Can you hit creeps sufficiently? No. I feel like Ectora has the very similar mentality to RDO in that regard, right? So I do like that. The punch carry, though, has been played. Actually, the first time, I love saying this stat, the first punch carry ever played in the history of Dota was played competitively in South America. It was played actually by a stack, which was the current Wolf stack, or a variation of it, where ADR was actually playing carry in that game, even though he was usually playing mid, and he played him as punch carry maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And that was the first competitive carry punch ever played, before LGD, before the Arcos shenanigans, and it was a legitimate pick as well, and they won with it. It was very impressive. ADR, I remember because I was casting that match, literally hit every single hook that game. Every single fucking hook he bought blink. He would dismember, like blink dismember every single time. It was kind of an unkillable hero. Very different to how he's played now, but very, very strong. It was back when Flesh Sheep gave you HP regen, and so some people were trying him as an offlaner.
Yeah, I remember that patch. That was actually like an alive punch patch when you would take the first point in Flesh Heap, and actually, I don't remember a Stout Shield was a thing back then, but I just remember Pudges like ignoring supports and just running at cores and running them out of lane, basically.
Offlane Pudge.
Yeah, pretty
and
brutal.
You build like bracers and just like tank as much as possible. And nobody tried to carry though. That was just ADR who was like, you know what, this would be fun. And he actually tried it multiple times. It was like a thing he did, not just a one-time thing.
And I'll tell you what, it has been approximately 3 minutes since we started paneling. So that means I'm legally now allowed to talk about my favorite hero in all Dota 2, which is Witch Doctor, who is in this game, who normally against 3 tanky strength melee heroes, I would say is in a pretty decent spot with Maledict this game, with Death Ward, especially because I believe Frostbite does not cancel Death Ward, so you're going to need a Hook or a Dragon Tail or a Solar Guardian to cancel. But I just think, like, with all the damage resist, with all the built-in regen, especially if no one builds a break for SG Esports or no one has that Spirit Vessel, it's going to be really difficult in general to take down these heroes. Like, I could see SG Esports certainly having damage issues, Frank, Beastmaster, or not.
Yeah, it's a good Maledict game, for sure. But I do agree that there's... there needs to be something else to help out. Probably the break is necessary. I'm thinking of... So what are the cores? Is Beastmaster, Monkey King, and what was the mid? Puck.
Puck.
Yeah, who builds break? I don't think anyone builds break there.
No one really
I guess Monkey
builds
King
a
could
break.
Silver Edge.
Yeah, that wouldn't be the craziest thing on a Monkey carry, right? But that would assume that T can benefit early from a Shadow Blade. I don't really think you do against a Dawnbreaker, right? That item just doesn't feel as strong, because part of the advantage of the Shadow Blade, like we saw earlier today, was allowing you to kind of take some of these sly engagements where you get a stun or something from Fog, or in this case, the break from Fog, and kick off a fight. And then Solar Guardian is immediately like making that an even fight at the very least. And immediately you don't want to be there.
Yeah, Shadow Blade's a good losing item, because when you don't have map control, you can initiate with Shadow Blades, kind of scout it out, like you said. And as you said, if there's like a goal potential, honestly, Shadow Blade is so weak that compared to not just Dawnbreaker, IO, NP, literally anything, even a silencer in some situations, like that's gonna stop your initiation, right? So I agree with you. That's not the greatest item. It is a very good Silver Edge game though, so you might consider it like a third, fourth item though. But it's gonna take some time to get that break. Your other option would be just a super fast Spirit Vessel. Puck can build into it, because I think Witch Doctor, if he builds it, it's gonna take forever. Puck can build into it, and it's kind of okay. Honestly, I wouldn't mind that. So we'll see. Also, since it's been 5 minutes in the game, I just want to say Beast Ghost and get it out of the way.
There we go. We've got, 2 squares already here for those of you playing along with the bingo at home. Monkey King already in the courier form.
Wait, what is that line?
The beast,
Their line
the bing.
Oi, what happened with your grandpa? Or with your dad, I guess, it depends.
With your dad,
with your old man.
Old man can refer to a lot of things.
Your boyfriend if he's old.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's true. I think it could be like your spouse as well, right? Your husband if he's old. Well, I mean, if you're both
exactly.
old.
Like if you're older, usually they would also refer to that. I mean, it's a lot of. Well, why? In what situation is your dad playing Dota with you?
I mean, maybe that's why it's like, slow hands, right? So you spam that voice line.
Or maybe it's not que fue as in like what's up, but literally a que fue as like what happened to your dad? Is he okay? Did he come back ever from the store?
Call your father. Call your parents. Find out.
He's concerned about you.
Yeah, see what happens. Yes. He's been
That's a
seeing you
weird
play a lot of disgusting heroes in Dota, like Venomancer offlane, and Wiz, who is dying here actually, as he will get spit on. He's gonna get the cask out, which does get better now. Time for the deny. Very well done.
Berna did not hesitate. It's like I swear to God, if you give him first blood, I swear.
He didn't hesitate at all.
One bonk to the head, swiftly ending him, like he was a dog in Of Mice and Men.
Or a titled character, right?
No, I don't want to spoil. Just a dog. It's just a dog. Dude, people haven't read that book yet. It's only 200 years old.
Only 200 years old. Who could have known? Nice shot by Widge. He returns back to the lane. He gets off a cask there right before he dies. He gets off a second cask, immediately secures the range creep without taking it. So nicely done here. And already struggling top is going to be Marcy. Are you convinced about this Marcy hero? I was looking up stats before we got started for the day today. Oh, hold on. Frank is maybe just dead.
What?
Yeah, he's just dead.
What did I just witness Frank do? What was that?
He just died. I don't know. Dude, I missed SA Dota.
I don't understand why he died.
Because, I mean, again, we saw this earlier today, right? LTH goes to cut the wave and does so, right? And then Frank's just there. He's got no clue. He just dies.
Yeah, I mean, he just stood in front of the tower by taking the Crystal Nova, right? Like, I don't understand what the original play was to begin with either.
That's okay.
So weird.
It's gonna look bad now, but Frank will attempt to solo carry this game. He is that type of mid laner. They've given him a very good hero, comfort hero, and he is going for this Helm of the Dominator build, not like this Wraith Pack build that you see in some other regions. Basically, just NA, I want to say, is where I see this a ton of. So he will have a commanding presence here in jungle and in lane shortly.
I mean, I feel like you got away, though, with the hook level 1 and the Pudge on Lumiere. And, yeah, now it's actually going to be much more effective. LTH will die here in the top lane, I feel like. Oh, no, Lumiere took the wrong path. He actually misclicked there. Now allowed him to get away.
I didn't want to commit the Nova either.
You weren't going to get away with hook level 1 otherwise. I think the panel was correct about that. It's not that great against Beastmaster with the axes, because he just axes and it's fine. And you got away with it simply off the fact that Frank fed you.
Oh. Hey, Dispose is good because it also catches the Maiden. There's a kill bottom. Mariano picks up the kill onto Wiz, but Frank also will, still with that point in the axes, pick up the kill onto Lumiere. Oh, but Berna dies bottom too. The spray onto the tower.
Yeah, those sprays are also... I mean, that's Quesito, by the way, who made those sprays.
Oh, yeah?
Famous, yeah, she's a graphics artist and Dota 2 admin for a lot of like amateur leagues and stuff. She's really helped out with like the Mexican league, for example, in Dota. Wonderful person, and she helped them out with those sprays. So, shout out to her. It means small cheese, but she is a person.
And now LTH once again, Dispose into the top lane. Frank's got axes in a couple more seconds. Maiden is literally less tankier than a creep, rather. Frank, though, it seems like, with a little bit of lifesteal, can he fight through this? With sidekick? Oh, almost. He got close. Does deploy a boar, which immediately starts last hitting creeps, but LTH will secure the double there with the rebound. Nice.
Yeah, well done. The kills on Lumiere started to pile up, and this is what I expected from this lane more so. Again, once the panel said this, I feel like Lumiere can still recover, though, as long as the other lanes go decently. And Mariano seems to be doing okay-ish in this lane, but not the domination that we talked about earlier with the Venom versus Monkey King.
Yeah, I just didn't think this...
Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to talk about this Berna lane not looking so good, right? It's Veno into any melee hero, but especially one that relies heavily in the lane.
This is going to be a kill on Prada as well in top lane. Now this is starting to be the lane that I was expecting more. It's just not Pudge favored. It's just not Pudge favored, and we saw this last time. We're gonna see this again. And bottom, like you said, Mariano is doing now something against Witch. He might be able to get a kill. Has to be careful though, because Berna is still a threat over Berna. Even if he gets that Jingle Master, he's not gonna be enough to fight.
Yeah, this lane is just pain for him, right? Any melee laner, especially those with passives that, you know, they rely on in order to actually lane, are just going to not feel amazing versus Veno. Monkey at least has something he can use at the start of engagements here, the Tree Dance and Primal Spring, to start the engagements here, to start the scraps. But Dawnbreaker is just such a strong laner that I feel like she covers pretty nicely for Veno's very long cooldowns. Even then, I mean, Venomous Gale in lane, it's less than 30 seconds, so you can, you know, in theory, use it twice a creep wave, which is extremely brutal here for Monkey. I just never see an opportunity for him to really get a good use off here. There's a coil in the mid lane as well here. LTH rotating on through, does find the dispose. PP, though, incredibly tanky. 2-1-2 on the DK, so he turns, gets a couple of right clicks, and even a kill onto LTH. Himself will not go down to the damage with the puck. Wow, you picked this hero mid.
Janek in the bottom lane, though, might die to the Maledict procs here, trying to get denied by the creeps. It's impossible, which will get that final little burst of Maledict. There's the time when being a Dawnbreaker and being tanky does not really help you out. As Lumiere is trying to get the hook, but there's creeps that are disturbing him. Frank, they'd aggro them appropriately here to make sure there was no angle for the hook. And they're not going to be able to get this kill on Frank that they were looking for.
Yeah, plus he pulls the wave, right? Lumiere might want to use the hook. Oh, he's already used it. But otherwise, he might want to use it just for the wagon. No point now, really, as Tower's already taking the damage. Oh, he's still going to do it. Okay, just to secure the CS. Why not? Vanguard first for Pudge. So he seems to be willing to stick around a little bit longer in this lane. I feel like, for the most part, we end up seeing basically the Hood Rush straight away for safe lane Pudges, don't we?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose Vanguard can also be turned into Hood as well, so it's not entirely that bad, because you can use the Vit Booster for something else later on. Mariano
Autumn, they're going again.
Is going to die here. The Maledict will guarantee this kill if the Dispose wasn't there anyway. Mariano will fall, giving the kill to Berna as well. And again, Berna's lane did not go badly to begin with, and these kills are really skyrocketing his net worth compared to the Pudge, who's been cancelled. Even if with Vanguard you can withstand the Beastmaster, you're not going to farm like crazy. You're just going to protect this lane, which I guess is the okay use of the Pudge, but it does not... I'm not too confident in this pick. I'm not seeing what he's doing compared to the Monkey King, who feels like a much more traditional character to rely on.
Yeah, see that. I think Lumiere is going to be able to make a decent amount of space with Vanguard in this lane, though. That might be very disruptive for Frank's game, especially because if Pudge is able to defend the top, Frank's not going to be able to move into the enemy jungle and, like, you know, reduce the farm that PP can get, reduce the farm I suppose that Veno can get. I don't know what Veno does with his items, but I mean, because his Veno hero strikes me as just ranged Viper for the most part.
You're a better aura carrier. You can do a lot of utility items, right? Like Vessel, I guess you can consider part of that utility
mech.
aura. Is he going for mech?
Yeah.
No, he just has... Oh, he is. All right.
Oh, he's going for mech. I know a mechanism when I see one, brother.
Sorry, I just saw the headdress. Yeah. I think it's good. Like, you go for mech, Force Staff. It's like these utility items, aura items. You can go for drums, Vlad's even. Wraith Pact is a pretty good one for this game.
Well, here's the push top lane. They're going to pull over Gnek as Frank is going to be eaten by Lumiere. Has the hook to follow up, but doesn't even need it. Plenty of the damage. More than enough even for Frank there.
101 gold. I didn't know they added 1 gold to that creep. But yeah, that's going to help. That's going to help Lumiere a little bit, especially the Helm of the Dominator creep. These big kills matter more than what he got in lane. And if you actually look at his net worth, he's beating the Monkey King despite his last inning being pretty bad. Just off the kills here. However, Lumiere could die. There's a Maledict on him. Dispose, but they just don't have damage. There's too many people nearby. Puck's coming by. Prada has been silenced. Prada, a lot of burst damage for him. Faker wants to get the kill into Prada here. Thinks of committing the Dream Coil, wants to get him with just auto attacks alone. Marcy will help out, even taking 1 charge and infuse raindrops away. Dispose is available for Lumiere. Second try is the good one, says LTH. As this time they want to commit the Dream Coil. There's the Dispose.
Oh, they got
Maledict. But no Dream Coil yet. Waiting for the Veno, perhaps? No, just not going to use it. Waiting Rift instead. But now Faker's in trouble. He's out of mana. He's actually being killed off by Mariano. Jenik as well. LTH will die to this.
Wow.
They overcommit, and they lose a lot for a Pudge kill.
Yeah, they really do, especially because this is a Pudge core who's going to be very happy to die if it means his other cores are getting pretty decent farm. You look over towards the mid lane, PP with Elder Dragon form got a decent amount of this tier 1 tower. You know, Mariano, he TPs to lane after he secures his own tier 1 bottom. So now Mariano has got a keen, you know, a divested interest in being in this top lane even, which is going to make Frank's life even more difficult. I wonder where Lumiere will rotate back towards right now. He's running bottom, so he's saving his TP scroll in case they maybe look to fight mid or top again. You know, such is the life of a core Pudge. You want to be active in these early fights, using all your damage mitigation to your benefit and to your team's benefit. But smoke play is instead from SG, who are going to attempt to find a fight in a different lane here, it would appear, other than the top lane. No luck there. Not a lot of heroes showing, though. And again, PP is a very hard target. They're going to try anyway. Solar Guardian is incoming, however. Oh, they don't get the Death Ward out. They do get the Maledict, at least for some damage, and do tear through PP with that. Death Ward now is going to be uninterrupted here, trying to tear into Lumiere, who has Vanguard and does work that damage reduction against the Death Ward. Eventually, though, if you channel it for 5 seconds, it'll get through just about anything. Ask Pudge. He's dead now alongside 3 of his compatriots, and that'll be a 2-for-4 trade here, working out for SG.
Yes, compatriots, that's what the word I use for them. The Fakers go for Prada as well. We have Waiting Rift, but Prada's out of range, so not going to hit him quite there. But if they take the tower, that's good enough. Even reveal the Dawnbreaker TP. DK's coming back too. And that Hawk is making sure that Prada can't make any special moves against Faker. And has full control of this area here. I don't know if they want to reinitiate. He wants to kill a CM before he dies, or before he leaves, rather. And he will get it, not even jaunting to the orb. Surprising the Dawnbreaker. Well done.
That is a bold move as a maiden, isn't it? I mean, I suppose it is. That is your tier 1 tower. So I might make the same move. But going in first against a puck with Max Waning Rift and Illusory Orb together, what is this? 550 HP, which is... more than half of your total HP pool? That's difficult. The Bedlam in the mid lane has at least caught or bought enough time for SG Esports to push alongside Berna and Widge, so they have now dispatch of that tier 1 top lane. Can look to continue fighting and farming a bit more now elsewhere around the map as they open up their own parts of the map. Berna with an Echo Saber as well early. Of course, just a good item for the Monkey King, but can be used for him to fight a bit earlier if he needs to.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good item when you're like not really sure if you want to deviate into full carry Monkey King or like a mid-game-ish Monkey King, right? It is not as big a commitment as Battle Fury. I think it's even better than Maelstrom in that regard. You can always assemble it for BKB. By the way, Prada's gonna die to Faker. Oh, maybe not. Oh, they're committing so much. In fact, they caught him with a Dismember. Oh no! 1 maiden too many, they said.
What do you? Prada snaps the coil anyway. Because I don't need your mechanism heal. I would have lived anyway. Thank you very much.
He's just showing dominance to the puck, right? Like, you gotta snap it towards the end to show what's up.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think Lumiere should have actually hooked him out of the coil. That was the real chat play. But...
to cancel the freezing field, right?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Actually, if you hook your teammate, I think that you don't cancel the freezing field, right? Is that
right. You would not, but you would if you did. If the coil, yeah.
But it is that it works, right? Because you only do the mini stun on the enemies.
Yeah, I believe so. I do believe so. I'm not sure how it works with some of these weird ultis where like they go around you, like Maiden ulti. Oh, they missed the first stun here into Lumiere. It shouldn't matter. Well, maybe it will matter actually if they cancel Death Ward. Lumiere is going to activate the level 3 flushing. Look how much he takes. He does not care about the Wukong command soldiers. So instead, Genek is going to get the wrath of Berna. And Lumiere is as healthy as ever. It looks like nothing even happened to him. Man tanked the Death Ward for a second and had Maledict the whole time applied.
What happened? Dude, that was ridiculous. Maledict felt like it did nothing. Bottom lane, they find LTH2, who activates the Unleash. LTH trying to TP, and they don't actually have a stun because Genek doesn't have the mana for it. Regardless, I didn't consider the Vanguard being so strong against the soldiers like we saw here, right, with a damage block, but it just made it impossible.
Yeah. No, I think it's really good. Plus, they have some raw healing, basically. Just a mechanism. Well, right on board Faker here as we monitor the replay. Faker's okay. He's okay. But yeah, he just takes way too much, doesn't he? Again, the damage reduction on Vanguard, I believe, does work against a Death Ward, funny enough. So
It does, yes.
because it's just ranged auto attacks basically from Death Ward. So yeah, it's pretty darn good at negating a lot of that damage, on top of course, just Flesh Heap reducing your total damage by 28% overall. With no
20%,
further...
28.
Yes. With no further, like, DPS, like the Vessel, or really, like, Puck's burst damage being top lane, you know, Monkey, he's not cutting it yet when it comes to damage. It looks like a laughable kill attempt onto Pudge.
That's why the Silver Edge, I think, is genuinely an idea. Because, as well, the Maledict, I feel like, which is their biggest tool for damage, if you can't deal that, like, little amount of damage every tick, because, you know, that gets completely blocked by the damage block of Flesh Heap, then you never get the big bursts of Maledict, and then what's the point of the whole spell? You actually don't have any, like, big sources of damage. Unleash is blocked by the damage block. Beastmaster Zoo is blocked completely by that. I guess Puck is a little bit, but even Witchblade's blocked pretty much, right? His auto attack's not that great. Waning Rift to Illusory Orb is whatever, is meh, especially with Hood.
Speaking of Hood, are we going to get one eventually? Yes, we are. Acceptor
He is
first,
getting it
though,
now.
for Pudge is the move. Okay.
Oh, interesting. I really do think that, you know, when you're choosing between 1,800 gold item and 4,200, maybe you just
Yeah.
go for the cheaper item first. But
He feels tanky enough already. I mean, can you blame him? Did you see what he just lived through? Doesn't want damage. I want to
fair
fight.
enough. I just feel like you get Hood and then you God, right? Van
Oh
Hood
yeah,
is the,
no, Van Hood. Yeah, it's a whole thing. I agree.
It's a whole thing. People do it. I swear. It's not
People
just
do
me.
it. Yeah, back when Vanguard used to be a respectable item, now it's kind of coming back a little bit.
Yeah, it's coming back. I think it's pretty good. Especially disassembling made it much better, right?
Yep. Yeah, basically we've only ever seen that item picked up and then put immediately into the backpack of a safe laner who was building an Abyssal Blade, you know?
Yes, exactly. For a while, that was his only use. I will say, though, that the axe does help you farm faster, so there's a point to getting as soon as possible, right? Obviously, Vanguard's great for this game, but the Hood won't do enough, so maybe that's the idea behind him. And obviously, the Hood right after the axe will help you a lot, too. 'Cause the
Check out this build that Wish is going for. I love this build. Man's got a holy locket on the Witch Doctor.
Yeah. I do love this build. I remember suggesting it to you like years ago. I thought this is OP. I do feel like it's pretty good on the Witch Doctor this game as well, because like getting the extra save from the Holy Locket. Well, you talked about the lack of save, right? Getting the extra burst healing of those charges onto like a Monkey King, just to get the last hit for the Jingle Mastery and then the Boundless Strike could be very impactful. So I do think that's a really big deal. So I like it a lot, this game.
Yeah, plus the heal on Voodoo Restoration, especially early on. Not so much in combat, and it's not going to look so impressive against Mariano, of course, because this Veno is just a DPS machine in the early game. But like out of combat, it basically what this heal allows you to do, especially with a Locket, as LCH attempted to go there onto Prada, is, oh my god, look how fast that Witch Doctor was. I've never seen him move that fast. It allows you to heal up in between early sieges, like completely full heal your team. So you can like send a Beastmaster up to the high ground with a creep wave, and then once Infinity nuke the wave, because they've got really good wave clear, and then they come back and kind of heal up and rest up. Like Witch Doctor will have him topped up. You can see he's just toggling it on here casually for Berna, and it's a super efficient heal.
Oh, they got a Dragon Tail. They're actually gonna kill Faker. That's his first life gone. Can they kill him a second time?
Was exactly like the other time.
Frostbite. Okay, this time they actually messed up here, and the counter initiation is good from Berna. No punch to deal with. He can kill a Venomancer. He can certainly kill a Venomancer, as we saw here. BKB did get committed by Berna, but I think it was worth it.
Yeah, I would say that's worth it as well. And a pretty bold move, a pretty bold call out from Infinity, who try and continue comboing the Puck with, of all things, Solar Guardian. Like, I respect the play. I really do. But I think that's a very difficult ability to connect, to be honest, even on something as predictable as an Aegis respawn. This Puck just gives you no, like, you can't afford to even miss that by, like, a quarter of a second. Otherwise, Puck just leaves, right?
It's really difficult. I agree with you. Like, I think if... I mean, I thought they had the plan to Frostbite him into place, and that was maybe the idea. But you can still phase shift when you root it, so...
Yeah, exactly.
I wasn't... Yeah, I think that was a bit of a wild play. I think they should have just left honest after the Aegis. They did get Aegis, which is not bad, all things considered, but then losing your Venomancer unnecessarily.
Oh, yeah. And Lumiere now has Acceptor here as he does join the smoke gank, looking for a little bit of a fight now. So that Holy Locket build from Witch Doctor is going to be a little bit less efficient. Oh, hello, Berna. Oh, he gets a... No way.
Wow.
Prada. Stunned. He stunned the neutrals. Or he Crystal Nova the neutrals.
I mean, he tried to get him in the in the air. Mariano fighting against 2 supports. That's mech, but they're coming in Death Ward for him, and he got... Oh, that is the luckiest cast bounce. Literally 5 creeps and they hit him. At least the supports will die. Lumiere will get some strength from this, but they really did want Berna. Oh, sorry, they really did want to save Mariano, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, no, they wanted to kill Berna there as well, right? So
Yeah.
that was the objective of that smoke, if not at least a double kill, but they will lose their offlaner for it. Ooh. Yeah, and then immediately into Eternal Shroud here for Lumiere. So back to the normal beaten trail here of Pudge. I don't know, I mean, I really respect his decision to go for a Vanguard first this game. I think it certainly helped out for Lumiere. Obviously, he did take a couple of deaths in the laning stage, which is why he has those 4 deaths overall, but he's looked almost unstoppable since picking up the Vanguard. And now with that Scepter, this AoE is huge, reducing your healing as well, amps the damage. Now he really needs this Hooded Defiance online, though, because Rod is going to tear himself apart, rather.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to mention the same thing. They need the Hood really desperately. I mean, Voodoo Mask, though, plus level 10, level 15 talent of 10% lifesteal is enough for like the couple of kills you're going to get now. So it's okay for them to go for kills here. Oh, they almost got Dragon Tail, actually. Just a second away, and the puck was dead there. Getting ganks, though, on a Pudge is really tough when you have the Hawks to take into account. Like, either you smoke in, or they're probably going to see you, unless Frank messes up. And Frank is not going to mess up because he's the Beastmaster, so... He got Nether Shawl, at least. That's almost as good as a Hood. Actually, might be better. As they got a kill here on Prada in the mid lane. Just found him in the wrong position. CM can't really run away. And PP is going to continue to push down bottom. At least taking advantage of the CM's death to create some space. Beastmaster can do the same thing, though, so we'll see how long this Dragon form seems appealable. As the rest of SG is considering their next move. Will they go top and push this tower, go for the safe objective? Will they force a fight bottom? Does not seem like they're interested in it.
Yeah,
up
it's kind of this awkward window, right, where Roche is going to be up relatively soon. You haven't really gotten another big key core item for Berna either, so it's like when you're looking at things of what are we fighting around, the answer is not much, I guess. A Kaya on Puck, but not even the full Kaya on Sanj. So might as well set up for next Roche. Especially with Helm 2, Helm of the Overlord now finished for Frank. He's pushing a lot faster now, especially with the drums active. Straight into BKB, I would assume, here for the Beastmaster. Lumiere goes hunting. There's a hook. Not going to hit, though. Yeah, Frank hasn't decided what he's going to turn this Ogrex into, keeping us on edge, the showman, as always, but I assume it'll just be BKB. Oh, Genek is going to get caught by Berna here, and very quickly the Jingu stacks will amount here, thanks to, of course, that Echo Saber. But the move speed slow, just from the Celestial Hammer alone, is seemingly good enough. Wow. A cheeky little dodge there into the trees, and he is away. Nicely done.
Yeah, especially because how much you distracted the enemy, right? Now they can actually go for a kill mid because they know the Monkey King's bottom, but Frank's a little bit too quick with those drums, and now it could be Pippi who is in trouble. Oh,
very good hook.
Lumiere acting unlike a carry here. Oh no. That was such a good hook by Lumiere that I got distracted from the terrible Solar Guardian play.
It's these gosh darn supports, right? Genek goes, oh man, I gotta save my ally at any cost. Oh, Pudge did it? My safe laner saved him? That does not compute. I still have to go in anyway. And he goes in and does end up feeding the kill, unfortunately.
We see a lot of these, we saw this a lot in the EU series as well. We're like, Dumbreaker, you don't have to initiate every single time they go on your teammates. You can not press R. But hey, at least PP didn't die. It's not really that big a deal, all things considered, as long as PP's alive.
PP's got BKB coming his way as well. We don't have Solar Guardian, right? And we don't have Elder Dragon form either now for another 50 seconds. So if Infinity smoke, it's going to have to be a melee Dragon form stun, basically, to kick off the fight. I'm also now starting to question, once these BKBs get online for SG Esports, where is the damage from Infinity going to start coming from, Because it's not going to really be the Venomancer, and I don't know if Pudge Core does all that much damage, especially when BKBs are out.
I don't know what the assumption is on Pudge Core. I wouldn't be able to tell you. PP, if I'm Marcy, Ariana is in trouble. He forced himself to the high ground, but he gets hit by the cask. There's the attempt on Lumiere's life. So as the Flesh Sheep activates it, and this time he is taking damage. He is going to get brought swiftly down. Somewhere in the world, and RDO is smiling as this push got destroyed by a more traditional carry.
Yeah, that he did. I really want to say Cask on the good Boundless Strike really there, but the Cask immediately follows up that Boundless Strike stun, which significantly delays Pudge being able to activate the Flesh Heap, and that is what ended up getting him killed so much easier. Because again, this
Cask
Monkey
is
King,
a big deal.
yeah, this Monkey King doesn't really have. I mean, he's got Deso, I suppose, which is a big deal for that engagement. But yeah, so just a little bit more minus armor there, and the Pudge melts like butter, basically. Or I suppose melts like fat in his case, right?
Butter is fat.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
This is milk fat, but it's fat.
That is very true.
Yeah. So, Pudge. Maybe with another shot that'll change a little bit more spell lifesteal off that. It did get small buffs in the last patch. I don't think it's going to be enough, though, because, again, when you're missing his damage, you kind of need to be the one to initiate. Maybe PP can make up for this. He needs to start building into more win condition items because I don't think Pudge alone is enough to cut this. I guess ideally in a world where SG fails their initiation, you can hook the Monkey King out of his ultimate, but then what's he initiating on? Like, who's the one tanking this gank so Pudge can be useful? I'm not really sure. Mariano's not a good target for that. Janik, I guess, to a degree?
Yeah, but that's also not how you want your draft to go, right? You want Janik to ulti in after your fight starts, right? That's kind of how you want to play this hero, generally speaking. Less so on a support than a core, I would say, for certain. But still, I think that's where the hero's strength is at, because then you add a stun to your team fight itinerary.
Yeah. PP? Oh, PP, LTH. All right, PP is in trouble. They hook LTH. That's not going to help PP. This time the Solar Guardian took a while. PP's turning into a dragon now, and they want to perhaps turn this fight themselves as they just pile onto the dinosaur.
I love that team fight call. PP is turning into a dragon as they turn the team fight itself. Oh.
I mean, they were trying to.
I love this obsession you have with Dragon Knights turning into a dragon.
Yeah, he's turned into a dragon. Now he's going for the Witch Doctor.
Oh, better? Hello?
BKB on the trees? Oh, that's a good Boundless Strike, actually.
With the hook?
He's not flying fast enough. He's going to fall. Lumiere could be in trouble himself. Still has the Flash Sheep available. We don't have a Primal Roar, nothing to keep him in place. They hit him with the Ice Fire Bomb, which is not going to do anything. LTH is disposed, but he's afraid of the Pudge's Rot. So he's going to let him go.
I think rightfully so as well. Pudge still has Hook, he still has Dismember. Like, he's kind of scary right now, actually. Wouldn't want to go that far or too deep on him. This is like this. Pudge is going to be so tanky. There's another hook. Unfortunately, that one's not going to find anything. That might embolden them to attempt to kill Mariano here, as they do kick that off with the Boundless Strike. But actually, in they go back towards Lumiere. They cancel the Dismember immediately. But Lumiere still does not care about Death Ward. He just eats Berna alive. This Maledict might end up killing him, though. No, not even close.
Yeah, not even close, man. That was a ridiculous tanking. Who needs damage if you're going to live forever? That's just what matters here, apparently. They didn't even have stuns to stop the Monkey King. Like, Monkey King was straight up hitting him during half that cast duration. Didn't matter.
Yeah,
okay.
I
mean,
I'm
more sold on this.
Pudge is so unconcerned with magic damage. He's actually holding the Elven Tunic now. Maybe for the evasion? I thought,
honestly, the evasion's pretty good.
Oh, certainly he's holding.
No, he's not gonna get caught this time. They've learned their lesson. Not gonna charge up the Solar Guardian to catch the puck this time.
No, okay, good. But you might send in a push to try and hook him.
Okay, they got the Shaman here. You have disposed potentially for LTH. He's waiting for it. Lumiere. They use that Flesh Sheep. PP's the one that's gonna be tanking this. The Solar Guardian to help him out. LTH just lost his BKB as they go for Witch Doctor instead. Wraith Pact is going to keep him alive for a little bit longer, but he's finally dead. LTH is in trouble as they force that Lumiere at the same time as the hook is used. That is something I've never seen before.
No, me neither. Bendy's immediately back to the drawing board there. Did you see?
Yes. Yeah, that was great.
Marcy got sent back to the original position that Pudge was in. Good job by Lumiere. He hooks there to try and clear the board, or the Hawk, sorry. And then, yeah, I mean, another good fight for Infinity. I actually can't quite believe how good that looked for them there. They just kind of just straight up refuse to die, don't they?
Oh, Axis though. Frank? He's going for the DK again, or maybe just
So
pushing
is
Mariano
Bednar.
out. Mariano still has a force step though. He's a little bit of healing. There's the Wukong's command. Mariano's gonna force them in the opposite direction. Dreamcoil keeps Lumiere in place. Mariano will
hook?
die for this, but a hook cut the Monkey King. Is there a way to cancel this member? They don't have it in time. Bednar is dead. Faker, low on mana.
He's in trouble.
Phase shift, trying to save himself. Pranada is dying to those boars though, but they will catch the puck, and that's what they wanted. Lumiere will finish him off with a hook. And they get the Roche now. Mariano bought back for this. Are they gonna give him Shard for this buyback? Does he get it? No, they're gonna give it to Lumiere instead.
Okay.
That was wild. They really cannot split the fight, because if they don't all go on the Pudge at the same time, he just is unkillable. And Dismember needs to be cancelled.
Yeah, I think I'm starting to see the victory conditions for Infinity, or at least the fight-winning conditions for them in this draft. I think step one is bait your enemies into either going in on Pudge, but not surprising him, right? Lumiere has to get off Flesh Heap, otherwise he does not live, right? That damage resistance, we've seen it's night and day, and when he gets it off and when he doesn't. Either that, or they jump PP. Step two is you make sure that you have Solar Guardian for the heals. That's very important, because Maledict and Death Ward can certainly chop through a DK eventually. And then step three is you just blink in Mariano, or force staff him in, he does his damage, and you completely turn the fight. Like, it's... these fights, like, when they go in that order for Infinity, they look, like, unwinnable for SG. Like, it's ridiculous how little damage they have. I thought Infinity were going to be the teams with damage issues, but it's really looking the opposite way now.
Oh, I agree. I was very surprised how quickly they can burst this Monkey King. I mean, all the healing that SG has, well, the little amount of healing that they have, is not good enough to deal with that Ags as well, right? Which completely reduces that, and it doesn't make the lifesteal from the Monkey King not seem so impactful. The Psychic not seem so impactful. So they're just canceling the Monkey King every time. And also, having to cancel that Dismember with either one of your supports, unless you commit the Primal Roar for that, or the Dream Coil, which are hard spells to save until the Dismember comes out, is a really difficult proposition for the fight here for SG. They don't know how to take this because they've never played against Pudge Carry, it seems like, and I don't think that they know what to do this game.
Yeah, that certainly kind of puts them in an awkward spot. They also do have two Vladzoras right now, or I suppose two upgraded Vladzoras, right? You've got one in the Helm of the Overlord, and you've got one inside of this Wraith Pack that actually Witch Doctor built up. Witch Doctor, a hero that low-key can kind of farm now. You can see here with the Maledict bouncing between the waves, especially once he hits 15. I do assume he's going to take the +2 bounces talent.
He did.
This little guy can farm. He did, yeah. Oh, he's 16. My bad. I thought that was a 4.
Yeah, he's 16. No. 4, 5, 6. That's how it works.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. And here's a little bit more damage as well, courtesy of the Elder Dragon form level 4 now.
Wait, why are we doing... Why is this happening?
What
Why is this a push versus push? Yeah, I don't know about this one. They disposed the Beastmaster, but that's not going to save him. In fact, Lumiere's here with the Dismember. The creep is stuck in the fire and flames. I'm going to finish off Frank. And PP turned into a dragon, Richie.
He turned into a dragon.
He did. He's a black one now.
He's a big dragon now. And now I mean, if we had damage issues before, we certainly do now, because I would say one tool that is always good and scales with enemies is Maledict.
What is Faker doing? What is he doing? Can they not catch him? Really? They're not going to blink for this? Oh, he has Lincoln. That's why. Okay. I misunderstood the play. He has Lincoln, so he's safe from the Dragon Knight Dragon Tail, which is why he's fine.
I just want to quickly remind everyone that this Aghanim Scepter, yes, it gives you the free pathing and an extra little bonus to all of your abilities, all the basic ones on the Elder Dragon Form. It also gives you 25% bonus magic resist, which is brutal against Maledict. You hate to see it if you're a Witch Doctor player, because normally you love just laying this ability down at the start of fights versus these tanky cores, but obviously when they've got additional magic resist and just overall damage resist, like it feels like you do nothing, unfortunately, on this hero. Quick little kill there by Faker as he continues to try and draw the attention of Infinity back towards their own side of the river. He's going to do so quite successfully here.
Do you know if it turns you into, if it's like completely additive with the magic resist? Like, is it just 50% when you're in dragon form then?
I'm not sure. I assume so.
Because I think Hood doesn't work that way, right?
Well, let's check, right? You've got now 20% total. What is it, 25% pardon on this Eternal
base.
Shroud? for
Oh,
Pudge.
right. Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, that's a good question.
Well, that's just bugged, right?
Yeah, it's 43%, right? Yeah, so it is additive.
Oh,
sorry,
you
it's
do see it.
multiplicative. Yeah. So it's
I still see
multiplicative with.
25%.
I see it's 43 for me, which means it
Okay.
is multiplicative for the items, right? Which makes sense. And now in dragon form, oh, it says 43%, so it's also multiplicative. So it counts as an item essentially. Okay, so it's not the transformation where it changes your base magic resist to 50. That's good to know,
really good.
actually.
Yeah, still really damn good.
No, it's very, very good. It's just I was wondering if
Faker?
it was 50.
Wow, he does get away. There's someone turned into a dragon here. He's got to get out. It's Morbin time. Dragon time.
Yeah. Yeah, Drogon time. Yeah. The Dragon Tail though is ineffective because again he has the Lincolns.
Oh, sorry, that
a good
Lumiere
guess.
almost hit that hook actually.
Yeah.
It was a little bit closer than I thought he would get.
I think DK should go for Lincoln's cancel. Oh, he is. He's going for the Orchid. Okay. Once you get that, I feel like the puck is gonna not be able to do these plays.
Wait, but they have one.
He's currently. What?
Use Fey Grenade,
Yeah.
guys.
Oh.
Oh, sorry. That was SG. Pardon me. It's really annoying. You have to double click in the shop to check neutrals. I apologize.
Oh, okay,
SG
okay.
have the Fey Grenade. Infinity do not.
doesn't have it.
They got unlucky.
Okay.
You cannot break it
Orchid
with
is-
Psychic Headband.
Yeah, exactly. Orchid is the solution to this, and I mean Orchid or multiple heroes. I guess that's also a solution. Rada's gonna show himself. They know where Faker is. The question is, can they catch him in time?
Oh,
Legward caught him. They broke his Lincolns too. The hook was
that
actually
hook
really
was-
good.
yep. Yeah, it really was. Lumiere, no wonder he's been asking a lot for this Pudge, huh?
Yeah. Oh my God. Was that like? Did he have a Lizard Orb talent? Oh, that doesn't exist anymore. Sorry, that's my bad.
Lumiere's just gonna eat this creep. Wait, they're gonna initiate on him.
It doesn't have Flesh Sheep right now. He's still super tanky without it,
Yeah,
apparently.
they're still not doing any damage, and he does not cancel the TP. Not due to the magic immune targets, but better not. Underneath, a Tinker Ward here is in a lot of trouble. He failed to break the tree with the Force Staff, however, so he continues to jump away. PP, he is a dragon. He does not have a stun, unfortunately, even though he has a tail. And the hook, unfortunately, is not going to be able to cancel that TP either.
Takes a while for the tail to charge up, of course, right? He doesn't do a lot of tail days in the gym, so he needs a rest between them. But in that little play, while Berna could have been the ideal target, that hook could have finished off the Beastmaster. It's just really difficult to calculate now. You can still cancel BKB TPs. What you have to do, though, is wait until the BK, like the TP is about to complete and hook him right at that duration, which is easier to do now that hook actually drags you slower, but it's still a pretty hard technique. Because you no longer get a mini stun that pierces BKB.
Either way, we were thinking about, and doing a little thought experiment on who the Silver Edge carrier is going to be. We both thought it would be Monkey King Berna. Not the case, right? He's got Basher, and then immediately into Eye of Scotty for him. It's Puck, yeah. It's
I mean, I guess
Brady,
if
by the
someone
way. I
wants to
believe
do it.
he's got it now.
I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm sold on this. I mean, I guess he's ranged, so it's probably the easiest to apply. Sure, yeah. I feel like you just do the
also-
short straw.
You also can't really break Flesh Heap in the way that maybe people are at home are hoping, especially if you're an SG fan right now. The way you break Flesh Heap is that, because you can, it's a passive, right? You break the passive component, which means that if Pudge gets kills under the duration of his break, he does not gain additional Flesh Heap stacks. However, he does not lose the current amount of stacks he gets, nor can you dispel the Flesh Heap active, is my understanding of this ability. So, it's not the be-all, end-all versus Lumiere. It's good versus PP, of course, right? Because you fully break Dragon's Blood, you destroy the plot armor. But for the purposes of killing a Pudge, Silver Edge just goes for a bit of extra bonus damage as well as a better source of initiation.
Yeah, I think at this point you're better off with the Spirit Vessel, honestly. He has enough HP where Spirit Vessel is not going to be blocked by that much by Flesh Heap.
I would agree with that.
So. Yeah.
I would agree with that.
Or, of course, Monkey King just going full damage. That's a good solution. Scotty will also help there. Like, they have the right items for the Pudge. I do feel like this is more for a Dragon Knight. Not opposed to it. I don't think Puck is the best carrier for it, but I also don't think you have a good one anyway.
Well, I mean, I guess... Has he gone? He has gone for Dream Coil Rapid Fire. Okay,
Yeah, of
we're in
course.
business
You got
here,
it.
Avo.
Yeah, you got it. You got it. You don't really care if they can get out of the Dream Coil now with a BKB, but you do care about making more damage, which is what you're lacking. You're not really lacking stuns on SG. You just need one stun for Dismember, but in general, all of Infinity is kind of slow. Like, DK is not the fastest hero. With free pathing, a little bit better, but still. Venomancer is Snake. Pudge is a fat man. Like, they're not the heroes that you would think of when you think of mobility here. So you're fine with not having that extra stun of Dream Coil.
About to lose the Elder Dragon form as well. PP is no longer a dragon. He turns into a human, Avo.
Oh, no. He turns into a dragon. He is a human.
Turns back into a human.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yours
Oh,
was
they actually
scouted.
broke that aesthetic cap.
Oh.
Not broke it, but they triggered it. Oh, shard though on Mariano. I would love to see a shard on him, actually. Gives you a lot of vision when you initiate like that.
Yeah, actually, I agree with you.
Look, Beast
Effort there.
That was a good hook by Lumiere.
Frank with a little sidestep there. He's going to avoid that one. Fake cuts the wave. Lumiere says, same to you, sir.
Yep. Another hook. This time it's
There's a
Berna. That's perfect. Dismember used, but they cancel with the Primal Roar. They've also killed Prada in the backlines. It does not seem like Janek is having the best of times either, but they have forced the Wukong's command, and that's going to be wasted, essentially. Trying to hook him again.
TP's out.
Tells him come out in time. Janek, though, still alive for now, keeping the enemy team busy, so the rest of their team can actually chase after them. Frank is the next target. Marina has been killed off in the backlines by Faker. And it is 2 versus 5 right now. CM joining them, hoping to stop this Witch Doctor ultimate. There's Dismember doing that instead, as Witch will be dying for this Pudge. Or to this Pudge, rather, for what implies any sort of counterplay.
Okay, he did the math. I thought I was gonna yell at him if he died there and did not activate Glimmer Cape on himself.
Faker, I see it in your eyes, mate. This is not the play to go for.
Okay.
Oh, he's gonna go for the Dawnbreaker though. She did fight back. This is a pretty big deal. They have dispose too. The stuns are good enough. Janek will die. Prada now leading this. Mariano joining him as well. LTH has been slowed. Faker will get away. LTH will not be so lucky. Hook or not.
That's fine.
They just have enough damage.
Yeah, they didn't need it. They didn't need it there. Okay. That's a bit of space created, though. 80 seconds until Dawnbreaker can rejoin the fight. Of course, compared to most other supports, she's in there instantly because she does have Solar Guardian ready to go. And this Roche is not super fast. So it is a serious win here for SG Esports, having pulled Infinity out from the pit for those extra 20 seconds or so. That being said, Faker was yet again caught. This cliff, man, this is the cliff of death for him, for Dark Mago as well. He buys back, though.
Someone's gonna ping that ward spot. It's like, what? You can put a ward there the whole time? Oh my god! I never thought of that. Yeah, I don't know what's happening with him in this area, but there was no need for him to play that.
Oh.
That last fight, he played it pretty well, catching Mariano.
Wait, what? What cut Berna down from that tree?
I didn't see that actually. No,
it must have. It must have been Frank with Axis.
Yeah. You know, the lumberjack opened the big bad monkey.
Oh, silence.
Lumiere. Oh, okay, they're going for DK instead. It's DKZ. I don't know if he realizes there's no Dream Cold level 25. He does. Okay. Just walks off. Walks off for now safe. The Orchid actually cuts Faker. They can kill him in this duration. That'd be perfect. PP will die for this. Faker's fallen. We have Dismember as well to catch Berna, but they know the Wukong's command is about to come out. They're going to sacrifice the CM for this, or apparently not. Lumiere in the middle of Wukong's command.
What?
Got active Flesh Shape. Now he finally does not activate it. He
What?
doesn't activate the whole time.
He didn't activate a turtle.
He has no buyback.
He blinked in.
They're continuing those. And they got at least the Marcy and the Beastmaster, but Berna is alive. At least PP can fight against them head on. What was that?
I have no idea. I don't know.
Why did he activate the Flesh Sheep?
He didn't activate any of his damage mitigation items.
He had Nether Shell too. They didn't activate it either.
He just felt like a baller. I'll tell you why. He was walking around in that fight. Berna started setting up the Wukong's command, and then Pudge abyssals him, right? And Berna goes, what the hell just happened? I can't believe I got Abyssal to buy a Pudge. Pudge then walks away from the Wukong's command, and Pudge goes, no, I'm not done yet, and blinks back in to hook him. I cannot believe that.
Yeah, that's why it is. Like, he actually expertly avoided the Wukong's command. Like a baller.
It was really good.
Why did he have to blink? Could he not
And he
hook him from
blinks back
outside the
in.
circle?
I don't understand. It was such a winning fight for Infinity. That was a dieback on the puck.
Yeah. Alright, maybe Lumiere's having too much fun on the Pudge, and they need to do this. Oh, I don't know if this Roche is the best play either. They're losing it. Oh, actually, maybe not. Maybe not. The Monkey King feels weaker. He doesn't have.
You gotta be careful though. Which can? Well, yeah, there he goes. Berna.
Yeah, there we go.
Gonna set up. DP's a dragon.
Oh no! The Chinese Zodiac Monkey did beat the dragon there. Genex is trying to steal it. I don't think they're gonna get it. The support's sacrificing themselves. They go back in. The Roche is gonna fall. PP takes the Aegis. Verna wants this Ancient Black Dragon though. Can he finish him off? Frostbite will keep him at bay. PP, run. PP?
The Axe
PP, I
Scepter?
don't think it's the play.
Get the Axe.
Get the
Drop your
Axe, get
stick.
the Axe.
Drop your
No,
stick.
no. From the Magic Wand. He doesn't. There's the punch.
Oh,
No,
where
Lumiere is
did-
here. There's no more Lotus Storm. They have this member available. There we go. They cut Verna. They're gonna eat him up. The Witch Doctor out of mana. Silenced up now. Lumiere made it back in time. And PP did drop the stick, by the way. He did get the axe. What is this game? this is a really entertaining game of Dota 2.
Oh man, if you don't
Oh
like
my
this
God.
game, I just think you're not a Dota fan, honestly.
Yeah, dude,
Oh.
this is like my pubs. It really
This,
does feel
this
that
is
way.
amazing. I cannot believe it. 20 flashing sacks now for the Pudge. He's level 25, 26 even. He has gone now for the dismember damage and heal talent, as that hook is going to swing wide. But PP Mariano now set to work on the side. And PP did not lose Aegis, by the way. He snatches it away from Berna, who crucially does not have buyback in that fight, right? He's lacking it by 500 gold. A Faker as well without buyback. So any lane cutting shenanigans as he's doing now, it does put him in a bit of a risky position here. As Ada was hunting that Illusoyor, but no puck is going to be spotted on the other side. Jaunting in. It's a mid lane of Barracks down, however, in favor of Infinity. And, I mean, that casual Orchid really coming in handy there for PP, didn't it? Completely prevented Monkey from basically doing anything inside the pit. Berna underestimating his damage, overestimated his damage, I should say, there. As he BKBs, not very long, mind you, it was a 6-second BKB in the Roche pit with Wukong's command to cover him, and he still can't finish Roche in that period.
That's true. I mean, PP positioning was really good. Obviously, I just feel like the free pathing in a Roche pit situation is kind of OP, right? Like, how do you
That's a
deal
good
with that?
point. No, yeah, you're absolutely right, actually. You're absolutely right.
So I feel like PP understood that. I honestly thought PP was throwing a little bit there. I mean, when they started deciding that the strategy was throw your support corpses at the Monkey gig and pray that you get the Roche, and it actually worked. I don't know, man. That was, whoever made that call was wild. Mariano was probably screaming at them like, if you don't die for this, like, I will kill you. It's straight up. This is what's happening.
I have to say, as a Witch Doctor spammer, like through and through, I think Widge misplayed there. I'm not gonna lie, because he has Telescope, so he's got this increased cast range, and you always want to throw a cask at Roche, because if there's any enemies doing Roche, that thing is gonna infinitely bounce, right? Because it can bounce off Roche, and his spell block does not bounce the Roche or the cask from bouncing. He throws in Death Ward because he has no vision there. That's right. It stops the first time onto Roche, but it doesn't stop the bouncing, right? Which is the important part. To be fair, he actually didn't have vision because Berna was not jumping around in those trees. Fair enough. So not really that big of a misplay by Widge. He had to throw in Death Ward to get vision overall. But that could have been so much more if they actually had someone to get vision. That's kind of a shame for SG.
Yeah. I would also agree that the Lotus Orb timing was maybe a little bit timed off, and we're being nitpicky because the Pudge wasn't alive, and that's your big Lotus Orb target, right? Like if you're returning the Dragon Tail, it's whatever, compared to the Dismember, which is the big winning play of that fight.
Oh, yeah. Which is very much glowing purple now. Plenty of magic resist. Trickster's Cloak now.
That Flesh Sheep is it's such a weird animation.
Yeah. I hope it gets an update here.
Yeah. Jeff Hill.
Phil.
PP. Oh, he's actually using the ward to splash off and hit the town.
It's pretty smart, actually. Oh, okay, from behind?
From behind. On ward. Okay, they cut the Venom. He's been stunned, Mariano's dead. Lumiere, though, did at least get a good dismember, but now he's stuck in the Wukong's command. Does he activate Flesh Sheep? He does not. Once again, too many stuns for him. PP activates a BKB, but even if he's out of the circle, he's just getting destroyed by Berna.
Wow.
That's gonna be the Aegis taken away.
Wait, Pudge bought back? He's coming in.
There's a buyback. Lumiere wants to save his teammate. He's going for the dismember. This time he activates the Flesh Sheep. He's safe, and he's gonna kill Berna, actually. Berna has a buyback, though. Frank will also fall. Frank is buyback,
The
too.
cask.
Infinity, they want to retreat. The cask is keeping them at bay, though, and everyone from SG is running after them. BP. Snapdragon Forward for another 30 seconds. The CM actually blinks on the Boundless Strike. On point here as Genex slows the enemy team down, capable of making out of here alive. We still have a TP on Prada. Glimmer Cape used, and he'll be fine.
Okay.
What a buyback, dude.
Okay, nice job there. That's Gennett going, guys, I have buyback, I have Solar Guardian, go in, right? I think that's
that was
Gennett that calls that play, because his Solar Guardian is impeccable. Lumiere, that time, you know, when he's not being initiated on, he can easily get off his Flesh Sheep BKB and Eternal Shroud, which means he easily tanks through the entire thing, and they tear right through Bed now without his Wukong's command to protect him. Really nicely done. They do have buyback, right? So it just really equalizes in terms of buyback. I'm not sure if that's like really the right move for Infinity in this situation, but it was pretty sick. I guess it is, right? Because you continue staggering these buybacks. Because if you don't do that... Yeah.
I would also say that what's important of that play is that you just gotta, like, you can just get a freebie fight because the enemy team used their resources and still found themselves strong enough. It is a concept that, again, you only see in STA and SA. These are the two best regions at abusing this, which is deaths and the lives or whatever. Like, heroes being alive is not that valuable. What's really valuable is cooldowns, right? And they play more around those ideas. I think that was the call. I don't know if it was, like you said, Dawnbreaker or the Pudge, but whoever made that call understood there's no Wukong's command or BKB on Monkey King. Like, he's vulnerable now.
I will say, though, you know, part of understanding cooldowns is yes, the ultis and abilities, but also your buyback cooldown. Infinity are not going to have buyback on their Pudge or Dawnbreaker for 6 minutes. Obviously, same can be said now of Frank and Berna, and Faker's buyback has just come off cooldown. So I don't know if they purposefully time that, but they're constantly making it that Faker and Berna never have their buybacks together, which is slightly annoying, right? These kind of heroes, they both want to jump in on you, leash you down. There's a lot of synergy here, right, between a coil, especially as we approach this 30 talents that Puck gets the Pierce's Magic immunity. I don't know. It's...
Right, yeah, actually, I guess eventually it's just going to be Faker being able to carry without 30 talent. You're right. I didn't think we'd get to that point, but it is still anyone's game, honestly. Especially if Lumiere, you know, I think he just flips a coin. It's like, am I going to activate Flesh Sheep this fight? No. All right, there we go.
We're going to see, like, an extremely contested Roche, right? Both teams with at least one very vital core not having buyback. It's going to make this Roche a must-have for both teams, essentially. Not to mention it'll have a Refresher Shard, an Ag's Blessing, and Aegis and Cheese on it. Well, of course, Aegis and Cheese, no surprise, right? But
yes, that's the cheese fermentation process, of course. It starts as a small little shield of milk, right? And then eventually it becomes a cheese.
this Pudge is also starting to, like, really bulk up, isn't he?
Yeah.
Pudge also probably fermenting quite a bit as well. I'd agree. And the next 3 talents he get are actually pretty darn good. I mean, it's plus 33% damage, isn't it, basically, on this meat hook, which is pure.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Yeah.
4-second cooldown, and then the Flesh Sheep stack bonus, which is very nice. Especially
Which
when you have
interesting, the
22
damage
stacks.
block bonuses. I didn't actually notice that. Times 1.6, so it's going to increase it to, like, what, like 40?
Something like that, yeah. Something like that. Bit early in the day for me to do some maths, but
Or
sounds
late,
about
I don't
right.
know anymore. Time is a concept.
It's been a day.
I want to point out, by the way, since I saw this, Mariano, you see he has a Timeless Relic in his inventory, right? That does not work with Venomancer, but I'm glad that he's trying it. The damage does. The debuff duration has been broad for forever.
Well, does it work with Venomous Gale, at least?
No. No, I tested all the spells.
Sadness.
Unless they fixed it within the past, like, week or
Okay,
so.
they got Frank.
Okay, this is a good kill, actually. Frank activated Lotus Orb a little bit too late. But Frank won't die just yet, gets the Primal Roar off. Even with a Poison Nova, they got the punch. The Flesh Sheep is not going to be enough this time. PP also falls, and Mariano is torn to shreds as Gennett tries to get up to the high ground, but he won't make it out. It is GG, you're right.
That's disastrous. I mean, they know Pudge does not buyback. They know Gennett doesn't have buyback. Mid lane is pushing in super far, but, like, you have an entire minute and a half. I mean, maybe it's not GG. There's still 3 heroes with buybacks, but there's no ulti here for Venomancer. There's no ulti for Maiden either, who got in there very aggressively. I have to really commend the play, nearly getting the job done, but a nice silence there from Faker. And most importantly, PP cannot turn into a dragon.
Yes, that's the biggest part. Because, and this screams for another point, which is, you know, the Pudge is just not cutting it compared to the Monkey King as a late game carry. He can tank for a while, but now he's done, right? You need to kind of win earlier. And we're seeing the strength of Berna now, just absolutely destroying him once he gets that Wukong's command off. Now they're just going to go for Rex. I mean, if PP can turn into a dragon, 25 more seconds till that can happen. I don't know if they have that much time. Yeah, LT just being committed that Unleash.
Yeah, I think this might just be it. They can't cut this wave either, so they can't relieve, you know, the backdoor pressure. Faker as well, even utilizing the talents there of the Waning Rift attack. And here they go, attempting to defend, but they've got the Wukong's command upgraded now, +1 ring to try and stop this one from going on. Another great silence onto the Maiden, preventing the damage from coming through. They even get the kill here onto PP, and now with the Fortified dropping Infinity as well, like we'll drop game number 1 to SG Esports. It's a wild back and forth victory, but eventually in the end, RDO was completely correct. The Pudge core, not cutting it.
No, I feel like I mean, I don't know if it was the Pudge core. I think it's unfair to say that because it's like if I pick an Ursa core, right, and I wait for 65 minutes and I make a lot of mistakes in the first 30, is the Ursa the problem or am I the problem, right? I do feel like Lumiere had a lot of... I mean, every time I talk about Lumiere as a carry, I always consider them the Raven of SA, right? Like this consistent carry that rarely made mistakes, always went to the right fights. And that is the case when he plays like TB or you know, Naga or whatever the hell. But when he plays Pudge, it didn't really feel that way, honestly. He felt really excited to make these plays. He went for much more risky maneuvers, which were often good, but many times he would make a small mistake, like not activating Fleshy at the right time, getting caught with a stun. Like if Paralyzing Cask is really what's setting up for the fight, I don't know, man. Maybe there is something there, right? And get a Pudge Veno core. It wasn't just your Pudge. Your whole draft was made around winning 40 minutes or before, and I felt like they took it too long. And there, Monkey King is going to win. So as much as I love RDO, I do feel like it's more than just the Pudge.
I mean, I think that's fair. I also think this Infinity timing kind of unfortunately went like their timing. They have a timing in this game because if you look at their damage reduced numbers, like it's insane. 58% damage reduced by PP, 45, 46 basically by Mariano, above 50% here, 53.1 by Lumiere. Like they were not taking damage, but and that like kind of hard counters these physical lineups, right? Because they eventually do need to scale and start doing damage. And eventually they will outscale almost anything else in the game, eventually even outscaling damage mitigation, as we can see here. And I think that was where Infinity, yes, they had a timing. They were really, really close to hitting it. But perhaps when they failed in their tier 3 push down bottom, I think that's when maybe that ship set sail. And from there, SG Esports, especially with Bedna fully online, I mean, it's almost like they didn't look back after that.
Yeah, we'll see what happens now with Game 2. But before that, we will talk to our panel to see if they can break down SG versus Infinity, game number 1. Indeed, we're here with our panel. RDO, give me that beautiful smile of yours, man. Hey, the Pudge lost. You can be satisfied. Do you think that proved your point, where Monkey King just out-carried him at some point? Or do you feel like there was more to that match than just the Monkey King versus Pudge match?
Twice, because the Monkey King against Pudge, blah blah blah, and there's also the it's hard to win with Pudge because you have to do so much stuff to win, and when you pick a normal carry, you just have to do normal stuff and you win. It's just easier to get normal drafts for carry and get normal games instead of Pudge Fiesta.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Right, did you feel like there was more to that though than just the Pudge? Did you feel like maybe there was a couple of weird plays there by Infinity?
I feel like they have the advantage a couple of times in the game, but the fact that they had a Pudge carry make everything quite complicated. You know, I think on the Russian fight that he just rook Monkey out of the Wukong was the best fight for them, and they could not get too much out of it. Even when DK just stole the eggs and the eggs and the cheese, they could not get in advantage because most of the time when they just open Wukong on Pudge is dying like a bot because he doesn't have any armor and it's a Pudge carry. You know, I think when you play these weird carries like we just talked in the draft, you need to rush the game fast. You know, you need to just play forward and know what you're doing, and the team needs to know what the guy's doing. I think SG had a free game on Doctor too. This quite complicated Infinity a lot because Doctor just destroyed the game with the casks and Maledict. So, and we also have a long Pudge game. The last time Infinity just played Pudge, the game was faster. They just got steamrolled, and I think it just not worked for them.
All right, RTO, did you feel as well? We're adding to that that they had quote-unquote practiced around the Pudge pick. Because it did feel a little bit chaotic at times. The team know how to play around them, do you think?
Not really, man. Like, if you want to pick Pudge carry, you need to pick scaling cores. Yes, you have the DK,
Right.
but the Vino picks so bad with Pudge because in the end, when game goes like to 40, 50 minutes, it's literally a Pudge plus a Vino. They don't have any threat. It's literally DK playing against 2 or 3 cores because the hero is just bad.
Yeah, that's fair enough. With that, we're going to see what Infinity decides to draft for the second game, as per usual, where you know that story. First game, you experiment. Second game, you play real Dota. So second game is where SG is going to have to be a little bit wary. But if Infinity lose the second game, it's going to be a quick 2-0 for SG. That's exactly what they'll be looking for. Before we go into that second game of the series, though, we will be having a small break. So stay tuned with us as we go away for like 5 minutes and come back with game 2 between SG Esports and Infinity Esports.